Up with KREM begins now.
Good morning. Welcome to Up with KREM. It is 6 a.m. now. I'm Nicole Hernandez. We want to get right to meteorologist Thomas Patrick because, Thomas, when I came into work this morning, it was raining. Is it still raining this morning?
It is for some,
okay,
not for others. And with that, we're going to take a look at Doppler radar here. But it is definitely that first push of this fall cold front that's responsible for that rain. Most of it waited until after midnight to get going in the first place. The roads at minimum are very damp and very wet. But let's zoom on in to our storm system. This cold front, which is actually right on Spokane's doorstep right now. I think it's officially passing through. All the rain is to the east of where this boundary is. So there's plenty of rain to be had from northeastern Washington through the Palouse, and North Idaho still has most of the rain still yet to go. But on the backside of this cold front, notice how much drier it is already. So we're going to transition from this morning rainfall to a sunnier afternoon today. So if you're thinking about grabbing the umbrellas, I think you'd be okay actually leaving it aside today just because of how much drier and sunnier it will be today.
Now we're taking a live look at traffic this morning. This is I-90 near Pines Road. You can see even the road there much more dry than we were seeing just an hour ago. So if you're heading out the door right now, things are looking perfect. We're not seeing any major traffic or backups across any of our major highways or freeways here in the region. So if you're heading out the door, things are looking good for now. Well, the person killed in the shooting in Medical Lake last weekend, we now know was named Colleen Hendrickson. She worked as a guard for the hospital. Hendrickson's family says a man shot and killed her in the parking lot of the hospital on Saturday night. Her stepbrother posted a memorial saying he will remember her unique chuckle and the way she made everybody around her feel at home. He said, quote, "Her light will continue to shine through those who loved her." The shooter allegedly set a fire near a grocery store, then went into a nearby home with a rifle and fired several rounds. He then went to Eastern State Hospital. The sheriff's office says when they got to Eastern State Hospital, they exchanged gunfire and a deputy shot and killed the man. This morning, we still don't know anything about the shooter or their motive. Well, the man accused of shooting a WSU football player is now in the Spokane County Jail on his way to Whitman County. A newly filed motion says Ja'Cory Buchanan wants to be let go without bond. The filing says his family, including grandparents, aunts, and uncles, are asking the court to release him to their care. Buchanan is accused of shooting WSU redshirt freshman Sone Falialo at an Apple Cup after party. Right now, we still don't know when Buchanan will be transported to Whitman County, and there's no court hearing scheduled in his assault case. Also this morning, we know one man who died in last week's South Hill shooting was 37-year-old Terrence Wallet. He was one of two men that were killed in that shooting. Another was sent to the hospital in critical condition. This all happened on 34th Avenue last Wednesday night. We are still waiting for the medical examiner to release the name of the other person who died. For the second time in just 2 years, the Spokane Regional Health District is changing administrative leaders. Their administrative officer, Alicia Thompson, resigned. A spokesperson for SRHD says they cannot comment on the details of Thompson's resignation. We do know the Board of Health appointed two interim administrative officers, Ray Byrne, their current Division Director of Environmental Public Health, and Kim Kramartz, their current Director of Finance. Spokane Regional Health District staff say they are now in the early stages to finding a new administrative officer. Well, Idaho ranks among the lowest in the nation for physicians per capita. One Idaho doctor thinks the first step in changing that is investing more in state residency programs. Out of the 160 medical specialties recognized nationwide, Idaho only offers residency programs in 4. Dr. Joseph Sad completed medical school at Idaho College of Osteopathic Medicine, but had to leave the state to complete his residency program. Dr. Sad eventually came back to Idaho to start his career, but that's not the case for everybody. Of his graduating class of 145 students, only about a dozen now practice in Idaho.
Everyone in the front lines, nurses, doctors, everybody is just getting killed just because, again, there's so many sick patients in the valley and not enough people to take care of them.
The SAD says the solution is getting more residency programs in Idaho so aspiring doctors can stay local and continue to practice here. He hopes the state will help create that pipeline. Heads up, today is the last day of the electric vehicle tax credit. Former President Joe Biden passed the credit back in 2022. It gives up to $7,500 in credits for new EV purchases and $4,000 for used purchases. President Donald Trump ended the credit with his spending bill this year. So after today, if you buy an electric vehicle, you will not be eligible for the tax credit. Experts say this could mean prices for electric vehicles could drop by the end of this year. Today, Spokane Valley residents can share their thoughts on a potential new multi-million-dollar ice rink. Now, where the money is coming from for the rink is a little bit unusual. The $44 million would come from a benefactor working with the Innovia Foundation. The proposal says it would be a 65,000 square foot building, with 2 NHL-sized ice sheets, a seating capacity for 500 to 700 people, locker rooms, and skate rentals. It would also have youth and adult hockey programs and public skating. In exchange, the city would help with improving the roads and utility infrastructure in the area.
This is, as Shelley said, a generational opportunity. One that really I've never seen in my career. The donor coming forward with a deal like this.
Supported and criticized the proposal during last week's city council session. Tonight's meeting starts at 6 o'clock at Spokane Valley City Hall. Skagit County Sheriff deputies are still trying to find 12,000 bottles of craft whiskey that was stolen from a Seattle distillery. They say the batch is worth almost $1 million. The bottles are Westland Distillery First 10-Year Single Malt. After a planned shipment in late July, the bottles never arrived to their warehouse in Burlington. Here locally today, we're expecting to learn more about a new safe and healthy task force forming in Spokane. City and county leaders from Spokane and Spokane Valley are scheduled to appear in a press conference this afternoon. KREM 2's Brandon T. Jones is live this morning with details. So, Brandon, what's the background on this new task force?
Yeah, good morning, Nicole. Well, two of the key things that this task force has been built to establish and correct are overcrowding in the Spokane County Jail and then also behavioral health issues throughout the county. Prior to this, actually, back in May, they introduced this, but prior to that, Spokane County voters, they rejected a tax measure that would have allocated additional funds for the county jail. Now, local businesses are working with those city and county leaders, as mentioned, pooling their resources to develop a new funding plan that they believe will be more appealing to voters. The goal here to have a new measure approved by spring of 2026 that would be ready for ballots in November of 26. Spokane County has already penned a joint letter of support for the task force. Mayor Lisa Brown is also expected to speak today at the press conference along with a few of those county commissioners. And ultimately, if any new details, any new information come out from this press conference, we'll be sure to keep you updated across all KREM 2 platforms. For now, reporting here in downtown Spokane, Brandon T. Jones, KREM 2 News.
Heads up out in Moscow, today is the end of this year's outdoor irrigation season. After today, you cannot use automatic or other irrigation systems. Any outdoor watering will have to be done by hand.
It is 6:09. Now look at our weather forecast. We're at the exact moment, no rain in Spokane, but it has rained from the late night and early morning hours. Basically, just stopped raining at about 5 a.m. here in Spokane, but we're not quite finished with the rain just yet across the entirety of the region. You'll notice that there is plenty of rain, especially for areas in North Idaho and to the Palouse. So plenty of showers still to be had here today, but it is going to trend drier this afternoon. Notice all the clear skies in central Washington that will ultimately overtake the region today.